up, everybody? Welcome back to the Welcome to the World Sports Podcast. I'm your boy John, alongside Eddie and Braxton. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Feeling good? How you feeling, Brax?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty
That's good.
good.
That's good, man. We're gonna jump right into it, man. Monday Night Football recap and reaction. The Cowboys lose to the Cardinals at home. They had a bunch of miscues and turnovers, as well as going for it on fourth down and not converting twice, man. What was y'all reaction from the game? Did the Cowboys lose that game or did the Cardinals just win it?
Cowboys suck. Cowgirls suck actually. I definitely think they definitely lost it, but the Cardinals did do what they're supposed to do. They came in there, they played, they made minimum mistakes. Jacob Brissett, they came out there just throwing the ball because as I was watching the game, with my coworker, he was saying, "Are they ever gonna run the ball?" But like they threw the ball 8 out of 9 times. So I think that's a great game plan for them just to get the ball out quick into their guys. Marv had a good day, great day. McBride, they got weapons on that side, so they definitely came out to play against that horrible defense and the Cowboys. We thought it could be an offensive shootout at that point, but they just I don't know what happened yesterday with Dak and the whole team, but they did not look like the Cowboys offense that we seen early on.
Yeah, I felt like the Cowboys kind of got outplayed the whole time. I mean, they had a couple plays where they made plays like they were fighting at the end, but other than that, I felt like the Cardinals handled them easily, kind of. I mean, even without Kyler Murray, I feel like the offense was doing pretty well, and that defense was holding the Cowboys offense that we felt like was doing pretty good. They kind of fell off as of late, but I didn't expect them to look that bad. I mean, that's not the type of stuff that you want to put on tape when we gearing towards the middle of the season for sure.
Yeah, man. The Cowboys, to me, I feel like they lost that game because in many ways they had chances to put up points and they didn't. The coach went for it on fourth down twice when you should have just got the points. Knowing the type of kicker that you got in Brandon Aubrey, um, and knowing the leg that he got, why not take the easy points and at least give yourself a chance at the end of the game? Because really and truly, they didn't really have a chance at the end of the game. And then they was down 27-17. They then on what it was, third down, when they had a chance to kick the field goal and go to fourth down and kick the field goal, Javonte Williams fumbled the ball and it basically killed everything that they had in terms of trying to get a comeback. So that's why, a lot of analytics tell you to go for it on fourth down, but sometimes you just gotta take the points and live to, because that could come back and haunt you at the end of the day. So I definitely think that the Cowboys lost that game in many ways, but you got to give credit to the Cardinals because they came out and they played well. Like Brack said, they held that offense to what, 17 points. So you got to give them a shout out. But last night they were talking about you know when Kyler Murray comes back, should the Cardinals keep Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Um, I think for the simple fact that Kyler is very mobile. I think that's the only reason that they shouldn't do that. And I believe they paid him already, right? So I feel like you got your franchise quarterback, you paid him. I think he hasn't done nothing too crazy where he should be benched or you should just play Brissett. I mean, Brissett with this offense, I think the Cowboys just helped him in this case because the Cowboys defense is horrible, and they made Brissett look great against this defense. So I just think that it's just maybe a little bit of recency bias because we haven't seen a whole season with Brissett. So if he continues this play, then I think the conversation grows bigger. But as of now, I don't think it's time to just jump ship and just say, we're going with Brissett and Kyler, we'll find something else to do with you. I don't think that's fair to him.
I don't think I'd be opposed to it, only for the simple fact that this team has generally underperformed in years past, and I don't know how much of that is on Kyler. I mean, you got to put some of the blame on him as far as elevating that roster. So I wouldn't be opposed to it if they're still rolling at this point, moving on into the season. I don't think it's that bad of an idea for sure.
Um, Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Brax, just for the simple fact, in the past weeks, the offense has looked better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. We seen last night he's been getting more of the ball. I seen a stat earlier in like a couple games with Jacoby Brissett. Trey McBride's had 4 touchdowns just in a couple games with Brissett, and over what, like the last 2 or 3 years, he's had 4 touchdowns total with Kyler Murray. So I mean, the offense does look different with him. The only thing that I could kind of see why they would go to Brissett in a way is because you got to think about when the new head coach took over, Kyler was already there. So it wasn't like that was their pick of the quarterback that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then, like Bryce said, he underperformed. He's been underperforming with this team before the new regime even got there. So I kind of think that maybe it's run its course in Arizona with Kyler, but um, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I also would see why they would keep Kyler just in case they feel like, we owe that to him because we gave him this big contract. So I'm on either side with it. But moving on, man, the Bills dominate the Chiefs, but although the score indicated a closer game, 28-21 game, man, what was y'all thoughts on that? I look like Eddie ready to go already. Go ahead, Eddie.
It's the same story every year, bro. They win in the regular season and lose in the playoffs, bro. I think that they should just flip it. If they lose in the regular season, maybe they have a better chance of winning in the playoffs. But I can't take nothing away. Josh Allen always looks good versus Mahomes, but they just can't get it done in the playoffs, bro. So I can't take nothing away from this. I don't think that this it really even means anything, bro.
I take a totally different approach to this last game. Usually in their matchups, Josh Allen would win or whatever in the regular season, like you say, but it wouldn't look like this. I felt like for the most part, the Bills were in control of that game, and the Chiefs felt like they were playing up to the Bills. And I feel like maybe we are witnessing a changing in the guard as far as like who might be the better team in this situation. I feel like the way that the game played out, it had the Bills not missed that field goal, this game would have been like it would have been like a 10-point game at the end of the game. So I don't feel like you can say this is the normal matchup. The normal matchup is Patrick Mahomes having a chance to win or keeping them up and being in the leading position towards the end of the game. And that wasn't the case here. They were fighting to get in the game.
Yeah, the defense definitely was getting after Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? They put a lot of pressure on him. I seen that they said like this is Mahomes' first game since college. I think they said that he hasn't completed at least 50% of his passes. So that just goes to show you how well that defense was playing. But my thing is, can the defense keep it up? The Bills defense they got up for that game because they playing the Chiefs, and the whole narrative around the Chiefs that they can't beat the Chiefs, this, that, and the third. So my thing is, can they keep it up when they're playing a lesser opponent? You know what I'm saying? But as far as this game goes, man, the Bills was the better team on Sunday, but like Eddie said, I don't buy too much into it because we've seen times where the Bills came out and they beat the Chiefs on in the regular season, and then when it's time to play in the playoffs, you know, I won't say it's a no show, but they just can't never get the job done. But my question to y'all is, are y'all kind of nervous about the Chiefs being that they're 5-4? They're third in their division, and right now they're not even in the playoff picture. So are y'all a little nervous about them?
As to what making the playoffs?
Yeah,
No, not at all. Because I seen the thing. It said in the hunt, it had the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Steelers, I think, or
Steelers
the Jaguars. It was either the Steelers or
might
the Jaguars.
have been the Jaguars because the
Yeah,
Steelers leading their division.
yeah, you're right. But those other two teams, I love my Texans, but I don't think we're going to playoffs this year. And I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm glad. I'm glad
So
to being honest.
I'm being honest, bro. But I'm not worried about Mahomes at all. And like I said, the last 3 weeks, the offense back rolling, and once they get in the playoffs, it's the Mahomes show, and he get all the calls with the refs, so you know how that goes. So he go beat Josh Allen or Lamar again. Sad to say.
Wow. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I think I do have concerns about them making the playoffs or not make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs. I just don't think they'll make a deep run like they have in the previous years. Just because I mean, you can't. I feel like teams you build off your habits. I feel like if you build bad habits throughout the season, you can't just always think you're gonna overcome that. And I feel like this year would be the year where they would face them issues. You can't just keep moseying along through the regular season and think it's just gonna click because you got an older Travis Kelce, you got weapons around you, yes, but these things, it hasn't looked like a well-oiled machine all year. So let's build on better play moving towards the end of the playoffs or towards the start of the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm not believing in it.
Um, we've seen this from the Chiefs before. You know, a couple years ago, they weren't the best. They didn't look the best. Their record didn't look the best, and we was like, oh man, is the Chiefs gonna be able to do what they do? And they end up making a run. So I'm not gonna count them out just yet. You know, they still got Pat Mahomes. I think they're gonna figure out a way. I think they'll figure out a way to make the playoffs. And we also talked about them, you know, going on the road and winning and you know, because they always have home field advantage, and they proved us wrong last year as well. So I ain't counting them out just yet. But man,
Hold on, I want to add one thing. Personally, if they have to go on the road to face either Lamar or well, they probably won't face Lamar because he's down in division right now. But if they have to go on the road this year and face Josh Allen, I'm putting on record that they're not winning that game. Like I'm putting on record they not beating the Bills in their new state or
They
in
did it before, bro. What's the difference, bro? What's the difference?
they don't look like the same team as before though. They
They still
don't
got
Mahomes don't
Mahomes.
even look this
Do they
not
still
the
got
same.
Mahomes?
You said what?
Do they still have Mahomes? Yes or no?
They still got Mahomes, but the Bills still got Josh Allen. So I
And
mean, what you
what
saying?
had Josh Allen
Who's
done in the
playing better?
playoffs?
Who's playing better right now?
Don't matter, bro. When the playoffs tell you know he turned up when playoffs come and they get riled up, the refs get ready. Come on, bro.
All right, now it's the refs. I hear you.
It's not, come on, bro. Is it not? Who we
It
talking
is
about,
what
uh,
it
bro?
is.
man, look. Speaking of the Texans, man, the Texans lose a close one to the Denver Broncos at home, 21-18. Man, as fans, are there any frustrations from y'all two on how the game went?
There's a lot of frustration, not necessarily on how the game went, just with the Texas organization in general. But as far as Sunday, CJ got hurt, so he got concussed. Do that hit. It was a clean hit too, so but I did want the flag for the extra yard, I will say. So I was upset when they picked up the flag. But I can't even say much because I knew what I was getting out of Davis Mills as soon as it came in the game. Kaimi Fairbairn missed the field goal early. So yeah, bro, the defense can't score it for you every game and do everything, bro. So it's frustrating watching, man, because we got the best defense in the league, and we have a hurt offense and even worse offense now because CJ out. So it's a lot going on. It's not looking good for the Texans at all, and I think we should just, for the people that's coming back like Joe Mixon and Tank, I think we should just rest them up and just get ready for next year, bro. That's my honest opinion because without CJ, I don't know how long he gonna be out, but without CJ, we have no shot at all.
Yeah, prayers up for CJ, man. Eddie was over here saying, he gave us the thumbs up. He should have went back out there. So I'm glad that he didn't go out there and hurt himself even further. But I agree with you, Eddie, man. I mean, this season is a wash, bro. Like with everything that's going on, I mean, us being in the hunt, like you said that earlier, I didn't even really like acknowledge it because it's just I don't believe in it currently. I mean, Davis Mills, he came in, he did what he could do, but without CJ, we're not the team we need to be. So
Y'all let Will Lester ruin y'all season again, huh? That's
Next subject, bro.
That's crazy. Hey man, moving to Sunday night football. Seattle steamrolled the Commanders 38-14. What was y'all thoughts on that game, man? Seattle looks like a real true contender.
Well, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Seattle, but I just want to say that Washington defense is almost as bad as the Bengals, bro. Like anybody on offense can score. If Cooper Kupp was out there, y'all know how much I hate Cooper Kupp. If he was out there, he would have had about 2 touchdowns last night. But to the Seahawks, with Sam Darnold, he's always a great regular season quarterback. But when they get the time to win in the playoffs with prime time, he has a losing record and always fumbles the bag. So I can't put too much in them, but I will say they do look good and they're in a great spot. They got JSN over there. They're looking like a top 10 receiver. Another one, Ohio State got them another one, man, and they just keep producing. They catching up to LSU slowly, with quantity, but we got quality. But yeah, man, I don't want to put too much into it because there was the Commanders' defense, but they do look good on offense, and the defense was moving around a lot. So I think they're moving and trending in the right direction. And for playoffs, if Sam Darnold comes to play like he playing in a regular season game, then maybe they have a shot. But until then, I'm a little shaky on them.
yeah, man, I'm out on the Commanders, man. I was watching that game and I was jokingly saying, I said, man, just give me Burrow, man. But I'm playing like I'm not serious. No, it's they both two good quarterbacks. But man, that offense, you said the Commanders' defense looked bad. I thought the offense looked bad too. I mean, every aspect of that game looked bad. At one point, like I mean, well, not at one point. The whole time they was getting a you know what whoop. So, I mean, it's just embarrassing, man. And we're gonna talk about what happened at the end, but like it's just embarrassing that they went out there and performed like that. Y'all NFL team, y'all can't get whooped like that on Sunday Night Football of all games. Come on, man.
Yeah, and Carl, before you go, John, Carlos Camara, I just want to say he is banned and he will not be a part of my fantasy team moving forward. So, shout out to him for his horrible performance and just showing me everything that we can do and what we would do in management moving forward with the fantasy teams.
Hey man, you fell into the trap. Everybody before the season was hyping Crosby married up, saying he was gonna do all this in fantasy, and he hasn't produced. But man, let's talk about the game, bro. That was just a. It was a. I echo y'all sentiments, man. That was a bad performance from the Commanders on both sides of the ball, man. And I know Terry McLaurin's not there, and they lost Luke McCaffrey, but at the same time, you got to be able to have guys. These are professional guys. Y'all guys got to step up. It's next man up mentality, man. And right now, all they got is Debo because that's the only playmaker on offense. And they went got Traylon Burks, the receiver that the Titans had brought in to replace AJ Brown. And he ain't really made a difference. They got Lane over there. He ain't really made a difference. So and then that defense, they just the problem with the Commanders, bro. I'm gonna be honest, they're old, bro. I think they like what the oldest team in the league right now. And so like they're just old, bro. So and that's why they look so slow. They look slow. They just have a lot of injuries. So I mean, that's just what it is. But from Seattle standpoint, JSN does look like a top five receiver this year, man. Like that move he put on that DB, bro. Like that was probably the best release I've probably ever seen, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that release was filthy. I ain't never seen nobody get killed like that, bro. Honestly, off the line of scrimmage, bro. And then Sam Darnold's playing well, and then that defense, I think they got a top five defense, bro. Especially with Leonard Williams on that front line, and they got a lot of depth in the secondary. Eamon, I don't know how to say Nick Eamon Ward or whatever, the safety that they drafted this year. I think that he's gonna be a stud too. So I got Seattle high on my list, man. But oh, it's time to talk about it, man. Jaden Daniels, left the game late in the fourth quarter with a dislocated elbow, man. Should the Commanders coaching staff have pulled JD before he got that injury?
I think so, but I also think that in times like that, how much time was left? Y'all, do y'all remember off the top of your head?
It might have been like 5 or 6 minutes left on the clock.
Well, yeah. If it was more time, then I would say if they score on that drive, then maybe keep them in. Because all the history of the comebacks and everything. But in that situation, I do think they should have just put Mariota in just to be safe, knowing that JD is coming off injury recently. I thought it was a hamstring at first when I saw him down because he was holding it, but it was just his arm that he was holding, and it was a nasty injury. I think he out for the year maybe with that. There's no reason for him to come back anyway with this season. So and that's the thing with JD, but we always talk about it like him and Joe Burrow, they always getting hurt or nicked up. So I don't know what they got to do going forward, but they got to get it together and just, they got to be lucky as well. God just got to bless them to be healthy and just so they can just produce because that's they problems like that just can never stay on the field. So
Yeah, I get why a lot of people blame the coach. I mean, the game was kind of out of reach, but at the same time, you got to understand these players are competitors. They don't want to go to the bench. So I see both sides on it. But shout out to Dan Quinn for like a coming and being like saying, it's my bad, my fault. Like, yeah, I appreciate him for doing that, but I don't think it was totally his fault. So, yeah, tough situation. I think that's like one of the things that people have criticized about LSU quarterbacks. Like you said, they get hurt and you never really get to see their full potential. And people be putting that thing about him saying like he's like RG3, but I don't think that. I think it's just unfortunate things that's happening to him, and he'll be better moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, looking back at it in hindsight, it's easy to say, yeah, they should have took him out the game. But like Bryce said, these guys are competitors. He honestly, I think if he don't get hurt, he played the whole game. That's just me, personally. But I mean, it's also on JD. Like that was one of the big things against him coming into the league. Like he was never the type of quarterback to go down. Like you got to know when enough's enough, and that showed on Sunday night when he didn't go down. Like just, but I mean it kind of was a freak accident because he was trying to stop himself from falling, and then that's just how it happened. But I don't know, man. It's just he got a bad history with injuries this year. And I would sit him out for the rest of the year because, like y'all said, this season's a wash, and they just need to move forward into next season.
Yeah, he might should consider putting a little bit more weight on. I'm not gonna lie. Like to consider how that happened, like his arm looks so small, like holding down on the floor like that. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to say that's the reason why it happened, but like think about that. You got a maybe 275 plus person on your back. You think your one little noodle arm is gonna hold that up? Like, it's just not gonna happen, bro. You gotta put some weight on, man. No disrespect. JD, I love you, but you gotta do that, bro.
So you want him to look like DK?
I don't want him to look like DK, but he could look like Lamar's weight is perfect, like in my opinion.
Lamar,
Not not too skinny, but not too heavy, so he can move at the same rate.
Lamar and him basically got the same build. Lamar, but that's how they both came in. Lamar over time he built that.
That's what I'm saying. In the future, JD could do that.
JD from his rookie season to this is he's definitely put on more weight. If you go back and look at the tape, but that's not gonna show in a year, especially at arm.
Well,
And you don't want him to do too much and then he lose, his accuracy. But
well,
that's different. But we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, man. Look, we about to take a quick break. Coming up next, we're gonna get into some NBA, man. Ja Morant been in the news lately, bro. We're gonna get into him. We're gonna talk about them Lakers, and we're gonna just talk about the NBA overall, man. Y'all don't want to miss it, man. Welcome to the world of sports. We'll be back.
all right, y'all. Welcome to the World of Sports podcast. We're about to talk about some hot news in the NBA world, man. Ja Morant, man. Some things going on in Memphis that we didn't expect going into the season. Well, obviously, y'all know he was suspended the game for conduct that was not inducive to leadership in the team, and then now it's coming out that maybe he doesn't have his joy playing for Memphis. What do y'all think about that? And do y'all think a trade is coming soon?
Um, I mean that's kind of crazy to hear him say that, knowing that he the leader of the team, and now he don't have his joy playing basketball. It kind of makes you think like what his teammates feel about him making these comments. Like he don't have his joy playing with them no more. But I think it has more to do with coaching, more than anything. I don't feel like that he feels good with the coaches that they have around him. I don't know how much input he had on keeping that coach there, because if I'm not mistaken, that was the interim coach once they fired Taylor Jenkins. And I think that Job was a big Taylor Jenkins fan. And so I don't know how much input he had with them keeping the interim head coach, but I mean, it's some trouble brewing in Memphis, man, and it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. Do I anticipate him getting traded at some point this season? Probably so. Just because it's early in the season and you talking like this, man, like when it's gonna get better. I don't see it getting better at any point. So I think that he gonna end up leaving them no choice to get traded. To where I don't know. Because it's we still early in the season and stuff got to develop, but I don't think he gonna last there too much longer.
Yeah, man. It's just sad to see because 2 to 3 years ago, there's a parade inside my city, and he was gritty and having his dart up there, they all together. I think the downhill started when they traded Bang. That was a big piece, and Dylan Brooks. I had to say Dylan Brooks because just that core, they all together, that was a threat, and they was playing together well when everybody was healthy. and they gave teams a run for their money. And like Josh said, they was good in the West. But since they traded them guys, it definitely showed. And Jaren Jackson had to carry the big load, and I don't think that that was what he was ready for, and it's showing now. And Ja being out, and then the lineup, his injuries and stuff, and now he's back, and it's just not the same. So they got a lot going on over there, and he's expressing that. And I just don't think the organization likes how he is doing that. But I'm not a fan of them holding the players by the tag and just allowing them not to say what they want. I mean, freedom of speech. I feel he the captain of the team. He got to hold himself to a different status, but at the end of the day, he got to be real, and that's all he was doing. They just ain't like it, so that's why he got fined, and he just showing that he maybe don't want to be there. But I just can't see them trading job because he's built a culture there. But if he does get traded, I know he would probably be better on another team. I know he want to win, so I'll get him some players. If they want to win in Memphis, they should keep Ja. I wouldn't trade him if I was the GM. We just try to make him happy because that's your guy. That's your star player that you had. That only he brought them so much in the last 2 3 years, and he hadn't even played the full season yet. So just think if he's healthy and they got the guys to compete for a championship. I just think, but if that's not the case, then shit, somebody got to call 12.
You said a lot there. You said two things that I want to touch on. You said one, he's brought so much things to them, right? And then you said, what was the other thing you said?
Call 12.
No, it wasn't that. But let me get to what you said. So more often than not, in this situation, it does usually lead to a trade. But I would think, teams have been watching what he's been doing in Memphis. You said he brought a lot of things to them. He's also brought a lot of problems, a lot of suspensions, a lot of extra things that they don't want with the team. Every now and then, he's gonna do something dumb. I mean, like at this point, what have you really brought to the team other than distractions and problems? If I'm a team that's trying to trade for you, I see all that. Like I've seen that from the time you came into the league. When you came into the league at first, you was doing your thing. Nobody was worried about it. But then I felt like things got a little elevated, and you started feeling yourself a little bit too much and thinking you can move how you want to move, and that stuff has played out along your career. And I think as far as GMs, they see all that, and I don't think nobody gonna want to trade with them. And I don't know, to be honest, is Ja really known for playing like? Well, let me not say that. Let me not say that. I was gonna say not winning basketball, but I feel like
Yeah.
can he propel a team to championship level basketball? I don't know. I don't know if I could say that. I don't know if I could say that.
What team though? What can I see him on? Like fitting wise, a good fit.
John?
Hmm, that's a good question. Um, I honestly don't know, bro. Honestly, I really don't know because I feel like it gotta be a team that's already built to win. And he just gotta come in and add himself to it. Because we see what's going on in Memphis. Memphis ain't really built to win right now, and they're kind of struggling. And he ain't happy playing basketball. I think since he got to carry much more of the load. So I honestly don't know at this point in the season where I would see him going. Also because it's kind of early in the season, so we don't know what else is gonna play out, over the course of the season. But as of right now, man, I honestly don't know where I could see him going.
What about? I got some options. I'm thinking maybe. I think people that don't have a true point guard, you can go Phoenix. You can go.
But how much better is Phoenix than the Grizzlies right now? Is the question.
They don't have a true point guard, but I think they might be better, bro. Honestly, especially because JG ain't even back yet. So when he get back, he gonna bring some scoring. But I don't think because Booker had to play in the point guard. Why you looking at that break? Don't do my dog JG. But with Booker having to play the point guard, I think Ja will make it easier. But another team, maybe the Heat.
That's
Um, and then I say him
Oh
and Giannis.
no. I can't have him going to Miami. He doing all this craziness in Memphis. What you think he gonna do in Miami?
We talking hoops, bro. We talking hoops. Outside distractions will always be there, especially in the big cities. That's why Houston might not be a good place for him to go either, because
my thing is,
everybody know about
bro.
Houston.
You say Giannis. How well do we think Giannis plays well with other stars though? Like we seen him and Dame played it, and everybody was anticipating that this was gonna be, this dynamic duo. and it really didn't turn out to be what people thought it would be. I think Giannis is better when he's the focal point of the team. And he got other people around him, good players, but not great players. You know what I mean? Like when they won the championship, he had Drew Holiday, he had Chris Middleton. Like we thought of those guys as good players, but we didn't think of those guys as top players in the league. So I
But
don't know
with,
how Giannis fits with other stars.
but with Dame, we ain't never really said a full season because he was hurt. So I feel like you can't really judge that with him and the star because Dame was always hurt. I feel like Ja would be more available than Dame in that situation, and he'll bring the shooting that Dame will. But I still that pick and roll with him and Giannis would be crazy.
Which
But
is correct.
Personally, I don't think Giannis like playing with stars. Like John was saying, like first game of the season, he went crazy, and I feel like he loved the fact that he could just do whatever he wanted. When nobody there to worry about, he could just take all the shots, do whatever he wanted to do. I think that is where he's at his best, when he could just be Superman and do everything. So I don't know if Giannis and Ja would be a good mix, and I think Giannis and Ja, them personalities don't even mix to me.
maybe that's what y'all need though. Somebody to hold him accountable. And maybe he need to be the Superman of the team. Cause Giannis, he love that, but I think, he can't win like that again. He's not gonna win that championship with this team. So he's not. It's not gonna happen, bro. I see your face. It's not gonna happen, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, he did it before.
With Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. And he had guys on that team, bro. This is not the same guys on this team.
We can leave it there. How about this though? A team that has done it before in the bubble, the Los Angeles Lakers, they having a good little stretch of games and stuff. Let's talk about this, man. Y'all somehow winning these games with these players. What's the key to ingredient to these wins that y'all got going on, man?
Firstly, you not finna just pick my LeBron bubble ring. That's what we're not gonna do.
Hey,
That's
man.
that's official ring. Everybody was in the bubble. Everybody had the same opportunities. So we're not doing that. Firstly, just want to state that was a fair and square ring. That was the hardest ring actually, because nobody there was no it was just ball, just hoops. No outside factors, just hoops.
Okay.
Go ahead, John. I'll let you start with the
Um,
question.
the key ingredient, in my opinion, is JJ Redick, bro. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, last night I didn't give him a chance to win that game at all against Portland because Portland's been playing pretty well, even though what's going on with Chauncey Billups. They still Tiago Split still got them playing well, but I mean, last night with no Austin Reeves, no Luca, it just like Eddie said, Brian, Brian and DeAndre Ayton, I mean, and they got the job done, bro. So I think you got to give much credit to JJ Redick. He's finding ways for those guys to win games, and I'm kind of interested to see how far they're gonna go when we get healthy, like we're supposed to be. So yeah, I'm very impressed with the Lakers so far.
John, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Just talk about that. This makes me happy, bro. Like, cause like LeBron can finally just relax, bro. Like he could just relax and just rest up, get healthy,
Yeah.
and while they still winning, like just imagine when LeBron come back and LeBron, Luca, All Star, AR Reeves, man. Hey, it's just, hey man, these guys, they've been hooping, bro. Like just to say the least, man. Jake LaRavia. Like I did not expect this out of him to be, putting up this amount of points at this efficiency, but he has been given the opportunity and the shot. So I'm happy that he's taking advantage of it. Dalton Connect, I need to see more out of you. Please, I need the Tennessee Dalton Connect. But he has his spurts. But I do want to know, I'm a guy talk a lot of mess, but I gotta get credit when credit is due. Shout out to Bronny James. He's been playing okay. Last night I watched the entire game. I was just upset that he wasn't being as aggressive, but as the game went, he got more aggressive and he shot shots. He made a three. He was one for two, I believe. He made a lot of assists. He made winning plays, so I had to give him his props, man. I just want to see him be more aggressive because he has the abilities. He just got to get that confidence. But the Lakers, man, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. JJ Redick, he got them boys ready to play. DeAndre Ayton, I'm surprised. I'm happy, bro. When the Lakers are winning, the league is good, man. So, and this without LeBron, so I just can't wait to Brown get back. And yeah, it's a great day.
Hey man, I got no comment on this. As soon as I seen Luca and LeBron wasn't playing, I turned it off. So I'm sorry. But hey man, shout out to y'all boys, man. I will give some credit. For y'all to be able to still get these wins, that's impressive. Because when you win without your stars, that's the most important thing because that means that you got some longevity and you probably be doing things greater in the end of the season. But speaking of at the end of the season, some teams ain't gonna make it. What teams do y'all feel like have underwhelmed y'all this year?
The New Orleans Pelicans.
Ah,
Bro, them boys 0-6, man. It don't get no worse than that, bro. 0-6, bro. And then you go ahead in the off season and you trade away your first round pick for this year to the Atlanta Hawks for Derek Queen, who somebody who ain't even been playing a bunch of minutes this season. And then you got over here Willie Green in his last 92 games, he 21 and 71. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this is just bad, bro. And then they don't want to fire him, bro, and he need to be gone. He need to be gone. It's just what it is, bro. It's just what it is, man. The Pelicans, they gotta do some soul searching, bro. Cause I mean, there ain't no excuses now. Zion healthy. They playing. They went got Jordan Poole like them. They hooping, bro, but they just don't find ways to win games. Like, bro, one game, bro. I want to say it was against the Clippers, man. These boys, for the majority of the third quarter, them boys got outscored 30 something to 9, bro. 30 something to 9. I mean, I just don't know what to say. I'm done, bro. I'm done with the Pelicans right now.
you gave up already, bro?
Hey, man, 0-6, bro, with no first round pick. That's all I got.
Dang. 'Cause, you did tell me that's your team now. When
No, I
LeBron,
said no, I didn't. I said after LeBron gone. I said after LeBron gone. LeBron still here. You hear me?
All right, gang. For me, I was gonna say the Pelicans, but I had a feeling that John was gonna pick the Pelicans. But underwhelming, I had to say Orlando. Orlando, I thought they would be coming out a little more hotter than what they have. Paolo and France, over there, they have the guys to be. Desmond Bain, he has not been hooping actually. I have been surprised by him because he's been inconsistent, and I think he need to get rolling just for that team to be at the level they need to be at and want to be at. Paolo, he pick and choose when he want to play. He messed my parlay up every night. Franz, I couldn't say Franz has been the only consistent one every night. So shout out to Franz, but I think they need to figure it out quick because in that East they have a chance to be a top five seed if they just lock in. So um, they need to hurry up and get right.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all's picks. Once John picked the Pelicans and I was gonna pick the Magic. Then you said the Magic. I said, all right, cool. I'll pick somebody else. Right now the Mavericks sit at 2-5. I'm honestly not impressed. I felt like so far, even though they didn't have their top guys, I felt like they have enough to compete. I mean, you just bring in Cooper Flag, you got a bunch of role players, and it's just not really panning out how I thought it would. I mean, like last night, it was at a point like PJ Washington was like the leading scorer, and like he was just hooping. I'm like, that's not who I thought was going to be doing the stuff. I thought it was going to be Cooper Flag and whoever else. But it just hasn't worked out so far. I'm gonna give it time with them, but I will say I am underwhelmed so far. So
We're gonna move on to the next topic with the World Series. What's your thoughts on the World Series? With the winner, the LA Dodgers, man, they got it done. What's our reactions?
Hey, man, people thought they was out. You hear me? And they came back. The Dodgers being the Dodgers, man. They just the best team in baseball, simple as it is. Mookie Betts made a great double play to end the game. Yoshu Yamamoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto got the World Series MVP. So yeah, man, it's the Dodgers. That's all I can say. Shout out to
Yeah, shout out to the Dodgers, man. I always had them winning in six, but that they extended the extra game and got it done to seven. Once they went to seven, I knew it was over. But I will give a shout out to the Blue Jays. They did fight. They got some guys over there, Vlad, George Springer. They did fight, but like Brack say, the Dodgers are the guys. So they showed that, and they are the best team in baseball, like John said. So it was expected, and they got it done. Maybe run it back next year again and go for the big three. So we'll see.
yeah, it was a great series for sure. I enjoyed it, and I didn't expect. Well, I did expect this. I mean, I did expect this. I knew the Dodgers was going to win it. I just didn't know how. But I'm glad that they gave us a good series, and it was fun to watch. That was like some high level baseball being played, going to extra innings for almost every game. So I enjoyed it for sure. And shout out to them, man. I was surprised Shohei Ohtani was getting broke off in that last game, but hey, they still found a way to win it. So that's all. That's what it matters. That's what matters. And shout out to Mookie Betts. He wasn't having the best baseball run before this, but it's he showed up in the end. So that's all that matters.
All right, y'all. Time for the best part of the show now with the Black Spotlight. I can start off this week. For my Black Spotlight, I went with New York own Carmelo Anthony's own Lala Anthony's own Keon Anthony, man. Shout out to Keon, man. That's been one of my guys for a while now, and just happy to see what he's doing now at Syracuse, and he's got opportunity. As the first game was yesterday. He came out with 15 points. He had a couple threes, couple Lamelo, I said Lamelo, couple Melo moves, and he had a nice little dunk and slapped the backboard, man. So I definitely think Kion, I'm sorry, Kion could be one of the top guys coming out this year. I don't know if he wants to come out, but I definitely think with his production off the bench, or maybe as he gets that starting role going down the line, I definitely think he can be a top prospect in the draft because he has the abilities, and just about him getting a little more muscle and just getting a feel for the game and maybe at the next level. But as of now, man, he looks good, man. I'm happy for him, happy for his opportunity. Just want him to do great things as he's doing. So that's my black spotlight. Who you got for me, John?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Kyan Anthony. I seen them highlights this morning. He looked real good scoring the ball, man. And I was reading the comments, and people were saying he already better than Bronny and this, that, and the third. But hey, man, shout out to him, man. This week, man, though, I'm gonna go with Rashid Shaheed, man. We just got breaking news that he's getting traded to the Seahawks as part of trade deadline day. And I just want to say, man, shout out to him for the great memories that he's brought to us. We haven't won much over the past few years, but he's been a bright, a spotlight, a bright spot in the offense with his dynamic ability to run past DBs and just his electricness in the return game, man. So shout out to him. I'm happy he's going to a winning team where he can win, and he's going to be able to flourish in that offense under his old offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. So yeah, man, shout out to him, and I'm gonna miss you, buddy. But have fun, man. Have fun. Go ahead, Bryce.
Dang. Hey man, shout out to y'all Black Spotlights. Uh John brought up Bronny, man. Well, it's funny because Bronny my black spotlight this week, man. He been playing pretty well. Last game, a couple games before this one, he had a lob from a guy, and then he put it in. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to Bronny, and then like last night, he had a couple nice plays too. Got a lot of assists, man. I feel like when he first came into the league, people were saying nepo baby, like he was doing all that stuff, but I feel like now he's kind of carving his own way to be a nice role player in the league. So shout out to Bronny, man. I ain't gonna go too crazy on him, but shout out to Bronny.
Shout out to Brian and I think Bryce just forgot the name of the guy they go doing law. It was Austin Reeves, AR-15, one of the Lakers future All-Stars this season. So yeah, shout out to Bronny, man. Shout out to Rashid Shaheed. Shout out to my boy Kyan Anthony, man. That's the black spotlight.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, fellas, man, y'all already know that's the end of the show. We appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, man. We being consistent this year, man. I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud of the boys because we always talk about how we gonna do this, and we finally put our mind to it, and we giving it to y'all every week. So I appreciate y'all for being here, fellas. I appreciate y'all for watching, and until next week, man, y'all keep it locked here to Welcome to the World of Sports. We out.
Yes, sir, Ski.